I didn't get Victor. After hearing Miss Maria, I locked up.
What did Miss Maria say?
She told me not to falter.
Don't falter.
Was it truly Miss Maria, though? Are you sure the Valkyria didn't say that to deceive you?
I don't know. Maybe. Like I said, I just couldn't do it.
And as I said before, we have a responsibility as the ones who started this war.
Yeah.
Don't falter. I quite agree. We don't have the luxury to second-guess ourselves.
I'm with Saul on this one, Am. We gotta go all in here. So looking at Velgiev from this route...
I think we should wait.
Huh?
Care to elaborate?
I met with Hans's family earlier.
Who?
Vannergen's runner. He was an exceptional Lindworm rider.
You said you met his family. Did he...
He died at Velgiev.
Why was it necessary for you to meet them? I mean, you personally.
I felt obligated.
Whoa, hey, that's one hell of a grand gesture.
He died because I asked too much of him. He's dead because of me.
After all this time, you're having doubts now? You've seen similar things many times. We're in the middle of a war.
Yes. I've seen too much life thrown away for this war.
What are you getting at?
Can you say the same? The only people we're after are the Grand Generals and the Emperor himself. The ones responsible for the orphanage. And yet, to accomplish that, I've had to watch countless innocent people, on both sides of the war, die. Hans, and so many others like him, what did they die for?
So you want to find meaning in their deaths. What good will come of pondering that? You're not part of that runner's family. No one lives forever.
So you're saying there's no meaning behind Miss Maria's death? Or the other orphans?
That's...
Stop it.
This is important, Vi. We have a responsibility to the lives lost to this war.
What do you propose we do then?
Hans made me realize the cost of our revenge. This war. Whenever Hans reported the casualties, it always disturbed me. I tried to put it out of my mind, thinking I was weak. I'd remind myself that this is for revenge. Force myself to remember Miss Maria's senseless death.
Damn straight it's for revenge. And don't you forget it.
Since when have you started thinking this way?
For a while now. I couldn't bring myself to tell anyone. I was ashamed.
Amlet, this degree of compassion is unacceptable.
Am has always been this way.
Violet.
If one friend got into an accident in the mountains and another at the river, Am would try to save both. The fact is, he's a kind person. To spare us, he took on the most difficult role in our vendetta. Saul, Baz, why don't you understand that?
You've been acting weird lately.
It's Miss Maria, after all. I can't tell you how much love and affection we received from her. She was like a sister, a mother. To all of us that were abandoned, she taught us, gave us the strength to live on. If it were me, I wouldn't be able to kill her. I understand what Am's going through.
Amlet, we started this war. We must settle it. We'll continue the war. Listen, you must defeat the Valkyria at any cost. We can't afford to wait. We have to settle this before winter comes.
And then what?
How do you mean?
After we have our revenge, what's left for us?
What's left for us doesn't matter. Amlet, don't falter. The next time you meet Victor, take revenge no matter what.
Yo, Freet.
Hmm?
You've been pretty quiet.
Just thinking how Jutland will change after the war.
Got an answer then?
I don't know. The people provide a convenient excuse for our goals. How they'll feel after the war ends, well, I'm a little concerned.
How optimistic.
What?
To rile morale within Jutland, which was teetering between liberation and invasion, Solomon made use of Hans's death. He focused on the Empire's heartlessness to shoot a boy who was a messenger, and they were to be reviled. However,
Who could read this with pride? What happened to this boy is but one tragedy in a list of losses too numerous to count. Each and every soldier's death leaves heartache in its wake. The mother's pain in this article is one account of so many. I dare say Jutland brought these misfortunes upon itself the day it went to war. Thus, I once more call for a ceasefire.
Like you guessed, someone with a lot of reach wrote the article.
I knew it.
It reads like something meant to upset the public. Praises a mother who lost her son but still wants the war to go on. Goes on to say that a ceasefire is not an option, and that her son's death demands victory over Ruse.
Hopefully no one's buying into this.
Opinions pretty split. Some still think the war is good for Jutland, while others think there's no justifiable reason for more war. But no matter how much positive spin we sling for the military, word always gets out that we've lost.
Ruse's agents have been hard at work.
That's why everyone's skeptical about everything they read now. Suffice to say, things aren't going so well.
Back to the matter at hand. You said the article came from someone with a lot of influence. Do you know who exactly?
Why do you ask?
Just curious. I want to know why this particular boy became the focus of the article. Isn't this going too far?
I will make use of anything that helps us achieve our goal. That is all.
And what exactly does this accomplish?
Bolster the perspective that Ruse is evil. It's indispensable for continuing this war.
This isn't what Hans would want.
It doesn't matter what this boy would want. He's already dead. And I'm having him be of use to his country even after that fact. The same for his mother.
You can't be serious.
This is all for this country's victory and the completion of our revenge.
Parents who lost children, wives who lost husbands, all keep coming to the newspaper, all trying to believe there's honor in death, when in truth, they probably want to kick and scream and cry and curse what it cost them. They just put on a brave face. Don't excuse it away with words like war or revenge. We're murderers.
It's fine then, if you're aware of it. That is responsibility.
It just sounds like another excuse.
You're saying that I've been making excuses? Freet, we can't just stop here. You know that.
Oh, Fifi.
Good day, Sarah. Is something the matter?
Well...
Princess.
It's an honor to meet you, Your Highness.
It's Hans's mommy and Gran.
The Nielsen's? Both of you, please. Raise your faces.
They came to see the captain.
Amlet?
We have something for the captain.
Where is he anyway?
I haven't seen him. Let's come back another day. Don't want to get in the way of these brave soldiers.
Yes, of course.
Excuse me, Mrs. Nielsen. May I be entrusted with it?
We couldn't possibly ask that of you, Your Highness.
Only if you would allow it.
Well, I suppose it would hardly be fitting to refuse the princess.
Thank you, Your Highness. Thank you so much.
Why did you decide to hold on to it?
After seeing those two, I felt compelled to try and help. I had to do something for them. Anything.
Princess.
Let us go. You'll accompany me, won't you?
Huh? Aren't we going to wait for the captain?
I cannot merely sit around and wait. I will seek him out and hand this over at once.
The captain's right over there, milady.
Oh. Wait a moment. That gravestone is...
Hans Nielsen's.
Oh. Let us return, Miranda.
Aren't you going to hand that over?
Right now, I believe Amlet needs some time.
August 7th. The Ruse Imperial Army made its move. They attacked the Jutland outpost in Kovaltis and gained control.
Things must have been very tense in Jutland. But didn't this work in the traitors' favor? It happened when the country was wavering between liberator or invader.
Indeed it did. The traitors incited the people, stating they must stand up against Ruse, or else Jutland would be invaded.
I fully expected the attack on Kovaltis. The damage we sustained is at 15% as well. This figure's within acceptable limits.
Still talking about it that way, I see.
This is war, after all.
Thought it was revenge.
Cut it out, you two.
More importantly, Violet, what happened with your duties?
What's with the sudden accusation?
The enemy's commanding officer was Victor. How was this not caught in your information net?
It's been a while since your informant passed.
Are you saying I haven't been doing my job?
That's not what I asked.
I'm doing what needs to be done. So don't worry about it.
What's Jutland's next move?
We forget Kovaltis. Let's hit Velgiev hard and fast.
You want to cross through Velgiev's blind spot.
Wait, isn't this location a minefield? I've heard they made it difficult to approach since troops can't easily be stationed for defense.
This is way too dangerous.
The whole army can't get through. Am's crew might just stand a chance. I'll prep all the equipment you'll need.
You're putting the squad's lives in danger. I can't guarantee the princess's safety going through that.
Then don't bring her.
She'll come no matter what.
Then protect her. I know it's difficult, but we can't afford to lose the princess. I want to force Ruse to surrender before winter comes. If we're cut off by the snow, it'll spell the end of Jutland.
I know.
Then what are you hesitant about?
The Valkyria.
And Miss Maria told you through that same Valkyria to not falter.
Better prepare for the worst, Am.
Am, you don't have to force yourself.
Saul, you need to back down.
What was that?
First that article about the runner, and now all this aggression toward the Valkyria. You haven't been yourself. It's like you're possessed by this war.
Have you all forgotten what we're doing? We're fighting for revenge.
Wow, Saul's losing his patience. Don't see that every day.
What's the rush?
Huh?
Before winter comes, right?
We already took detours like Mugenruz. Ruzu winter comes fast. If we drag our asses, the snow's gonna beat us there. And then we gotta put the whole war on hold, after all our hard work, while the Rucks kick back and fortify till spring.
I understand how you feel, but if we're not careful, we'll undo everything we've worked toward. We've been planning this for 10 years, Saul. A part of us died that day, or so I've always thought. But we've felt more alive recently than we have in years. The reality of war has forced us to find new meaning. We started caring more about this country and what we could do for it. We've made a life of our own.
And this is why we shouldn't rush into things?
You're the one who chose the word liberation, Saul.
How about you, Vi? Looks like you want to say something.
I think that, at the time, the only choice we had was to take this path. But now, using war as our method...
You three regret this? This is ludicrous after everything we've done. All those soldiers will have died for nothing.
I won't let their deaths be in vain.
Don't make this needlessly complicated. You're the one who started talking about meaning and the like.
You're not gonna say you want to call it quits, are you? Pull out now, and we really did come all this way for zilch. Back when Saul suggested war, Freet and Vi were against it. While we agreed to it. But now, even I gotta wonder.
Amlet, I will propose this operation to the military.
It's too dangerous. It's my responsibility to keep the squad safe.
Your unit or your revenge? Which is more important to you?
They're both important.
Would have bet my balls you'd say that.
The squad's done excellent work because they care about this country and have their own reasons to fight. They're more than just pawns in our game of revenge.
To think I'd hear such a thing from you.
You've spoken to people from Ipsaria, from Avaloon. I'm sure some of them have thanked you for the liberation.
That is precisely why we can't stop what we started with Ipsaria. It's for those countries and others like them.
I don't want to kill Miss Maria. And I don't want to endanger the squad either.
That's not acceptable.
Let's ask Lady Luck how she feels, yeah? It all started with a flip of the coin. Got us this far. If it's heads, we keep going. Tails, we call it quits. Sound good?
Fine.
Here goes nothing. Hey!
We need to decide this ourselves, not with a coin. We made a mistake, dragging Jutland into our need for revenge.
You actually said it.
If the person who stands on the front line believes such, then we have no need to gather here anymore.
Saul!
I will do this by myself if need be.
You think you can kill Miss Maria?
I do.
The hell's gotten into you guys?
What we've been doing isn't right. We understand that now.
How about the crimes of the Emperor and his men? They get a free pass because you got cold feet?
I need a drink.
Then drink alone.
We're traitors to the country.
I myself am proud of that fact.
I envy your resolve, Saul. See you.
This war's forced you to witness far too many horrors. All while Saul and I just stood aside. I'm ashamed of myself. I can't blame anyone for questioning my resolve.
Find a way to save Miss Maria.
You ever predict this?
That things might turn out in this matter?
Yeah.
I had a feeling.
Wonder what'll happen to us once this is all over. At least you're getting hitched. A good wife with great looks and a personality to match? I'm kinda jealous.
My engagement with Sophia was necessary for this battle. I never thought I would actually get married.
Considering her old man is a minister, some extra influence in the political and economic circles is a pretty nice perk. Her own social status goes without saying. She'll bring you prestige and influence with the upper classes too, right? Poor girl doesn't know a damn thing, does she?
Can't be helped. How about you? Will you continue your business?
I've been thinking, for a while now, maybe I'll just disappear.
What?
Not like faking my death or nothing. I'll hand over the biz to someone else and just wander around traveling by myself.
What about Jutland?
It'll be just fine with you around. We're gonna see this through, right? Our revenge?
Of course. Even if we don't have Amlet, I still have ways.
Don't worry about funding or firepower. Got both in spades.
I'm counting on you.
You're not pushing yourself too hard, are you?
Do I look like I am?
Well, that stick up your ass was there from the get-go, but you weren't always so damn cutthroat.
Once you enter the world of politics, we all become like this.
Up. That's all.
Easy peasy, lemon squeezy.
Solomon and Basil acted immediately. They proceeded with only the main force and did not include the Vannergund.
But the operation failed. Jutland once again took a heavy blow in that battle.
They were both reminded that the only way to take Velgiev was through that aforementioned hazardous path.
What's more, Parliament was plagued by dissenting opinions over the war with that operation's failure.
Solomon the traitor, who was at the forefront of the pro-war sentiment, became the prime target of criticism.
Lord Lindegard wrote about this in his autobiography. He singled out Solomon and denounced him, stating that continuing the war would lead Jutland to ruin. On top of that, he claimed that Solomon joined forces with Basil Sabanci, the rising star of the Ragnite industry, and profited from an industry that was revitalized from the war. He questioned the two's connection, so it states. However, recent studies show that business rivals who didn't take kindly to Basil's rise worked behind the scenes. Perhaps Lord Lindegard was only used by them to their advantage.
Meanwhile, Ophelia had been trying to make contact with Violet the traitor.
Thank you for coming.
I never would have imagined that I'd be summoned by Her Royal Highness. Perhaps I should have run away. I heard from Hamlet. You know everything. Why did you want to meet me? Why not him?
I wished to speak with you in private, woman to woman.
Your attendant Godot also came to see us. Said he wanted to hear our side of the story.
Indeed. That is why I am following in his footsteps.
So I was the first in line. I'm flattered. But I feel a bit restless in here.
There is nowhere more private than my own bedchambers.
True.
I shall cut to the quick. Did something happen recently?
Something?
Our anti-Valkyria squad was left out of the prior operation. I do not understand why. The suspected collusion between Councilman Collenberg and Mr. Sabanchi troubles me as well. On top of it all, no one in Vannergen knows why we were excluded from that mission. Things are not progressing as planned, or so I have deduced. In light of my knowledge that all of you are working from the shadows, I ask again, did something happen?
You have a good intuition, Your Highness. It's over for us.
Pardon?
The oath that the 5 of us made has been broken.
Hello, Your Highness.
Good day to you, Bloom.
Are you alone? Miranda's usually always with you.
Indeed, 'tis only I today. Is Amlet here?
I saw him training earlier.
Thank you.
That was strange.
Something involving Amlet, is it? Dubious. Definitely dubious.
To act or not to act? That is the question.
Bloom said I might find you here.
Is it appropriate for a princess to be out on her own?
Royalty I may be, but I have fought on the front lines long enough to handle strolling about by myself.
Miranda's probably looking all over for you.
It's fine. I shall cross that bridge when I reach it.
You've really toughened up.
My apologies. I meant to give this to you many times, but I simply could not. This was handed to me by the Nielsen family. They said that they wanted you to have it. 'Tis a letter Hans wrote to you. Please read it.
Wait.
Pardon?
Stay with me.
May I ask what was written? You do not mind?
No. You should read it too. Both as a princess and a soldier.
What was written in it?
Pride, gratitude, how he was happy he could assist Amlet and was thankful he'd one day witness the country change.
Huh.
The runner Hans naturally had no idea that Amlet the traitor started this war for revenge. That's why he did not waver in his belief that the anti-Valkyria squad changed a suffering country.
I still can't understand it. War takes lives. How can they feel pride and happiness when they can die at any moment?
You could say it was just how it was back then. They all thought about their country, how to make it prosper, what they can do to protect it. Hans wrote that he learned what that meant through Amlet's struggles.
Such pure and honest feelings.
He's dead because of me.
Nay, this is war. Even I could lose my life at any moment. Such is the nature of the battlefield. Did you not feel the emotions poured into every word of this letter? He wanted to thank you, Amlet. Didn't you allow me to read this because you felt it too?
I don't deserve thanks. Not from Hans, not from Godot. Not from any soldier who's died under my command.
You blame yourself then.
Of course I do. We didn't start this war for Jutland. We started it for our own selfish need for revenge. What about that should I feel proud of? We're traitors. Traitors leading this country to its very destruction.
Miss Sand told me that the five of you have parted ways.
You met her?
Indeed.
She never felt right about it.
And you did? Even if it started as revenge, your influence is undeniable. It is because you five rose up that Jutland saw the light. Your friends have led an entire kingdom toward a new era. The soldiers who have died for Jutland did so with pride, praying that tomorrow would be a better day. Thinking they died merely for your vendetta is egotistical. Do not insult their sacrifice. Our duty is to carry on their last wishes by seeing this war through to the end.
Duty.
Should we falter now, those we lost will have died in vain. I would have you take your revenge, so that we may usher in a brighter dawn for all of Jutland. Should you still call yourself a traitor even then, the kingdom created in the wake of your vengeance shall serve as your atonement, a vow to our fallen soldiers. I say this neither as royalty nor warrior, but as a traitor.
Never imagined you'd say anything like this.
'Tis true that some will accuse us of committing an act that is unforgivable. Nevertheless, I wish to fight by your side. Many will condemn your ulterior motives for inciting a war, yet not a single soul enlisted without personal reasons. 'Twas not for king and country alone that they fought. Hans joined the military to protect his family and to express his patriotic devotion through battle. Vannergind rose up to defend their loved ones and their home, just as the five of you took a stand for what you held dear, even if that meant exacting a terrible revenge. A nation is a confluence of its citizens' hopes and dreams. I learned that on the battlefield, not in school or court. Just as each individual is unique, so too is every country. Only by respecting national independence as I would personal autonomy can I hope to lead this kingdom. Ruse's true crime is that of imperialism. The notion that one man alone should hold sole dominion over places and people. Everyone. You too, Miranda?
Captain, what exactly did you mean by revenge?
We overheard the two of you talking.
Why, that is...
The topic of your discussion was surprising. I brought it up with the others, and Miranda, well...
I'm so sorry, Your Highness. I couldn't hide it any longer.
No need to apologize, Miranda. Like you heard, I started this war for personal reasons. I'm sorry I kept this a secret.
Oh, is that all?
I'll step down if you want.
Running away, huh?
No. But you can't fight alongside someone like me, can you? I mean, the Valkyria spoke to me because it's connected to our need for revenge.
Don't be ridiculous. I won't let you walk away from this. Our squad better be part of the next op, too.
Huh?
What's with the dumb look? We're waging war.
No, it's my...
That's your issue to sort out. We all have our reasons for fighting. That's why we agreed to sign up for this unit. If our struggle makes everyone's lives a little better, makes medicine more available, then maybe we can put a stop to any needless loss of life.
Yeah.
The world's yapping on about liberation and invasion. That's the problem with intellectual types. Them and their reasons. My answer is simple. Doesn't matter what reasons you fight for. I only think of winning for this country. That's all. Well, I said my piece. The rest is up to you guys.
I want to fight alongside the captain.
I was surprised to learn about all this revenge stuff, but it's no reason to drop you like a bad habit. You're the one who led us to all those victories, Captain. Can't quit now.
I concur. I haven't even settled my score with the Empire yet.
I trust you, Captain. The strength you show on the battlefield is the real deal. To be frank, we depend on that unyielding presence of yours more than anything, regardless of your motivation.
Well, as long as Fifi's fine with it, I'm good.
You don't have to do this alone, Captain. You can trust us.
It pains me to say this, but I holistically hate to lose. So, since I've already been dragged into this muddled mess, I certainly won't stay on the losing side.
So that's it. How about it, Princess?
Oh, Daryl, thank you. Everyone, you have my gratitude.
Thank you. All of you.
I'd be lying if I said they weren't conflicted about it. However, the anti-Valkyria squad, for better or for worse, accepted Amlet because of its composition. Half the unit were civilians assembled for their aptitude with Ragnite.
But isn't that rather idealistic?
Yes, you can say it is. However, don't people believe in idealism and work to make it a reality? The chain of events that started with Hans's letter had a huge impact on Amlet, who was tormented by his guilt. Meanwhile, the Jutland army valiantly attacked the Kvoltis fortress that was under Victor's command, but was beaten back. As a result, momentum for ending the war further increased in Parliament. Public demand for Solomon's and Basil's questioning had grown enough to warrant the palace's attention.
Jutland is wavering.
That suits us quite well.
According to the Department of Agriculture, winter will arrive earlier than usual. Once the snow comes, it'll be impossible to continue fighting.
Shall we use that reprieve to rebuild our armies?
No. Now that we have regained Kvoltis, we will reclaim all our land since Vonskol, thanks to this abnormal weather. I will lead the invasion, to ensure we do not falter again.
Very well. Make it so.
Yes, sire.
Can't help but notice Maxime's not here.
We have placed him on standby.
Why is that?
He needed time to regain his footing.
Regarding Maxime, it appears he went missing several days ago. Can it be?
Worry not, Victor. He merely stumbled along the path. He has not lost his way. For no matter how often he hesitates, whatever his doubts, he will always come back to us. Always.
Being too generous can be a problem as well. Is His Majesty misjudging Maxime? Oh, the snow.
That day, the season's first snowfall was observed all throughout Ruse. Winter had come early, record-breakingly so, and it was said to be abnormal weather that happened only once a century. The very next day, Grand General Viktor Timoshev of the Imperial Army began his onslaught against the Jutland domain.
It's said that the Jutland army kept being overwhelmed by the strength of the Imperial army. The public opinion of whether Jutland was a liberator or invader also had a negative influence on troop morale. Nevertheless, the press continued declaring the dominance of the Jutland army.
However, those swayed by accusations of invasion from the neighboring countries lobbied the palace for a ceasefire. Lord Lindegard took this opportunity to promise a ceasefire and said that this was what the people wanted.
Who could have seen this coming? People are starting to question my stories, to think on their own. I guess there's no need for my articles anymore. No other country in Europa has the same freedom of speech as Jutland. You're one of the Vandergund.
I'm here because Princess Ophelia asked me to give you this.
The princess?
I've delivered one to all of your friends as well.
Huh? Baz.
Yo, long time no see.
You okay?
About what?
There's a lot of talk about you.
Let them say what they want to say. How about you?
I've been keeping my distance from the paper. Still writing, though.
Hey, Vi.
I thought everyone would come. I was worried.
I'm not the one having a hard time. He is. Speak of the devil.
Indeed.
It's been a while.
It has.
You seem tired.
A lot of things happen every day. To think we would be summoned by the princess. To hear, of all places.
Am.
My apologies, everyone. I realize this is much too forward of me. Yet this was the only way to bring all of you back together.
Don't look at me. You're the one who called us here.
What do you want to discuss with us, Princess?
I wish for all of you to finish what you have started. Carry out your vendetta to completion. Of course, I do not condone your inciting a war for revenge. In truth, I believe what you have done is nigh unforgivable. However, I also understand that you are human, and that the injustices you've suffered would drive anyone to extremes. The reality is, 'twould be no exaggeration to say that your vengeance has awoken the rest of us to our own suffering. The weight of an embargo caused us all to stop thinking for ourselves, to surrender to our fate. Yet your desires, selfish though they may be, shattered Jutland's slumber. Had you not stood up to take revenge, I would have given in. The perseverance you've shown by holding on to your anger has strengthened my own convictions as well. We cannot stop the Emperor without every last one of you. Reclaim the Sword of Vengeance and own that righteous fury, which emboldened 5 orphans to take on an empire. Is your blood debt so cheap that you can afford to lower the fist you've so easily raised?
So you're saying you want us to keep going? To fight this war, have our revenge?
I don't mean to be rude, but they've already lost their will to fight.
I'm going to kill the Valkyria.
Whoa, hey. Where the hell did all that internal conflict go?
Hearing Miss Maria made me question our need for revenge. What's the point if it meant killing her? And once I started questioning things, I couldn't bring myself to continue. I even started to resent the war. I didn't want to see any more lives sacrificed. But seeing all the reasons the squad had to fight, well, it made me remember my own. But I can't do this alone. I need all of you.
Wanna try our luck?
There's no need.
We're only returning to a path we've already chosen, after all.
We each accomplish our respective roles. We decided thus when we began this conflict.
Just not solely for revenge.
That's right.
Now we're cooking.
So, is there room for one more in your circle of 5?
Huh?
I accept the treasonous origins of the war. I forgive you. My only wish now is to fight alongside you.
Your Highness, you do not have to burden yourself with this.
Yes, your acceptance is enough.
Is that why you called us here?
Works for me. We all got the same goal of kicking Ruck ass.
Thank you, all of you. There is, however, one problem we must solve before taking the fight to Ruse itself.
You refer to the current state of the country, which is split between invasion and liberation.
The division's been affecting the soldiers too.
To enjoy the current prosperity and avoid a return to poverty, yet to be averse to accusations of invasion. That's the frank opinion of the country as of now. Of course, they're reacting that way since they thought they were doing right under the banner of liberation. But as a result, anxiety is sweeping through the nation. That's the present situation.
Jutland took steps toward war because the whole country was slowly deteriorating under the economic blockade. Furthermore, there's the victory at Molda. The country became of one mind for the war effort because of that.
Could you leave the matter of the people to me?
Jutland's savior.
As heir to the throne and as the figurehead of this war, it is something I must do myself.
At that time, many of the citizens gathered in front of the palace, people decrying the war, others in support of it. The two sides split and opposed each other. Tensions continued, and it was during then.
It's the princess!
Princess Ophelia!
Why is Her Highness here?
Is it fine letting her go alone?
It's what she wanted.
Still.
She's not just a princess. She's also a soldier. She can handle her own.
You have a lot of faith in her.
I've seen what she can do.
I have killed many Ruse soldiers with these hands.
Damn, girl. Just throw that bombshell out of nowhere.
My memory of the moment I first took a life is so vivid. It makes me shudder even now. Yet I still wish to stand at the vanguard, as a soldier. Because as I face down the enemy, I know that behind me is Jutland, our home. Today I come before you as a warrior, not a princess. For our troops are fighting on the front lines as I speak. Many have fallen with hopes and dreams left unaccomplished. Perhaps it was your child, your husband, your friend. But each and every one of them took pride in this country, and those still standing keep marching out of love for you. Why are we at war? What is a nation? Liberation or invasion? everyone is racking their brains to solve these riddles. But a few short months ago, none of us had the privilege to wax philosophical. We were struggling merely to survive. Even I, from my palace terrace. Today, I no longer think only of how to live until tomorrow. My thoughts reach much further now. I look to Jutland as our children and grandchildren see it. Is it not the same for you as well? War never changes, but war has changed us. We think of what comes after the battle and beyond. We finally have a future. You mustn't be misled by someone else's words. Nevertheless, I will resume my soldierly duties in the name of our nation. And with these hands, I will destroy the enemy for good. I'll bloody them for what I believe in. For this kingdom is on the cusp of a golden age, wherein everyone enjoys freedoms of speech, thought, and action. All of you, just as you are now, you are my pride and joy. You have lent me your ears. Now show me your faces. Please look to me, and grant me the strength to keep on fighting.
Oh, beauteous azure light that shines so gently, pure and bright, across lands of plenty thrives the freedom of countless lives. Dear shield maiden, spear in hand, please grant us the strength to stand, watching over this fair kingdom. 'Tis our one and only home. Oh, heaven, voice.
That was most impressive, although I was surprised when you opened with how you slew a Ruzi soldier.
I merely gave voice to my honest feelings.
It will force the people to think about this country, about this war.
Now, Amlet, all that remains is to defeat the Ruzi Empire.
You sure you're okay? With us, I mean.
Whether or not you are a necessary evil, you are surely the lesser of two. Let us think only of victory for the nonce.
Don't disagree with you there.
I'll reserve judgment until after we win. Will that suffice?
If you say so, Your Highness.
Saul, you and Baz both have your own problems to take care of, no?
Yep.
Like the princess said, let's focus on winning for now.
Have you gotten a hold of something regarding the situation with Basil and I?
I think I know who's responsible.
Those business tycoons play for keeps. You really want to show your hand when the deck's stacked against you?
Let's just say they didn't make their fortunes completely above board. I have a few cards up my sleeve.
What are the odds?
Let's see how they feel about me writing a story on their shady business dealings. Be ready for a fight.
Count me in.
Violet, please investigate any leads concerning the Grand Generals.
About that, Victor continues to take command at the front line. As for Galouche and Prince Laertes, no sightings lately.
You're sure?
Yes, the information checks out.
Grand General Victor. We faced him at Velgiev.
He won't get away this time. I won't falter again. I'll finish what we started. Liberate Jutland. and usher a new age of prosperity for this country.
I'd like to see that.
Solomon, you suggested we take the minefield before.
Yeah.
That's how we'll get to Velgiev.
Hmm? You rejected that because it was too dangerous. Kovaltis is still in enemy hands as well.
That's what makes it the smart call. It's the one route they won't expect us to take. There's still a standoff at Kovaltis. I want to keep it that way. It'll be dangerous, but this is our best bet.
Well, I better get going.
Ditto.
Violet, come with me for a bit. I'd like to confirm something with you.
Sure, of course. It'll be even better if it comes with wine.
Let's regroup with the others.
Yes, let's. I truly am grateful, Amlet. You've given me strength.
How do you mean?
Battling by your side has shown me how to be strong. In the real way.
Huh. Up. That's all.
September 1st. The anti-Valkyria squad made their move.
Amlet himself had decided before that this operation was too dangerous and avoided executing it, didn't he?
Yes. However, when he explained the operation to everyone, no one in the unit objected to it.
In order to increase the success of their surprise attack on Velgiev, they willingly took a hazardous route. They successfully navigated through the minefield when...
I see it. We've come out to the side of the Velgiev base.
Those fools are focused only on fortifying the front. Aha! Like a delicate damsel, their flank is ripe for the taking.
No sign of the sneaky tank.
Maybe it's at Kovaltis.
No worries. If we strike here, they'll panic. Then it'll turn up.
Amlet?
Vannergan, attack!
Velgiev is under enemy attack? How could they have bypassed our defensive line? Can it be they went through the minefield? Only Vannergan could pull that off. Your Majesty, as promised, I will use myself as bait to exterminate those wolves. We march to Velgiev. My unit alone will sortie. This is what makes war enjoyable.
Take a breather. Prepare for the next step.
Which is intercepting the enemy unit from Kovaltis, yes?
Do you suppose a Grand General will appear?
Who knows? Let's just be ready for the worst-case scenario.
We found supplies!
Thanks for waiting, everyone. Let's restock.
Yo, so is it the grand opening of Bloom and Helena's lovey-dovey store?
What?
Ooh, making a love nest on the battlefield. What a couple of lovebirds.
You jerk!